Hi, good morning to all of you. This is Keshav Sharma of class 12C, and today I am going to talk about an army, the death of whose leader is still a mystery. Yes, you guessed it right. I am going to talk about the Indian National Army or the Azad Hind Fauj. Subhash Chandra Bose, Azad Hind Fauj or the Indian National Army was crucial to India's freedom struggle. But did you know that this army was formed on foreign soil and that it was made of prisoners of war? Yes, it all began in Singapore on a football field called Faroe Park. The date was 17th Feb 1942. The Second World War was at its peak and the British has lost Singapore to Japan. So, under an overcast sky, the Imperial Japanese Army told around 45,000 captured British Indian soldiers about an army of Indians and for Indians. But why were the Japanese interested in Indian army? The idea was simple. Japanese wanted an ally in war. They decided to use the existing Indian nationalist sentiments against the British and they captured the soldiers to form an army. This gave birth to the Azad Hind Fauj and it was led by a man called Captain Mohan Singh. Within a fortnight, thousands of men gathered at Faroe Park and had joined the Azad Hind Fauj. But what role did Subhash Chandra Bose play in all this? Year 1943. Subhash Chandra Bose took over the Azad Hind Fauj. By December 1942, there were differences between Captain Mohan Singh and the Japanese. Half of the Indian soldiers who had joined the INA at Faroe Park had left. Enter Subhash Chandra Bose, a former Congress president and someone who believed that India's independence could be assured on military. Bose was considered the perfect man to lead and revive the Indian National Army. He recruited additional troops for the Azad Hind Fauj, civilians and soldiers of the Malay region. Bose also established the provincial government of Free India to give the Azad Hind Fauj legitimacy. Now, the Azad Hind Fauj became the military army of a government in exile. Energized by Bose's leadership, thousands joined the INA, taking its strength to ever 40,000 again. The Azad Hind Fauj was now ready to fight. Rob Havers, a noted British military historian, has written how Indian Army's military efficiency was generally low. Much of this was because Japanese troops provided the INA with outdated and rusty defenses. Still, the Azad Hind Fauj participated in two military encounters during the Second World War. The first was in Arhan in Burma from January to February 1944. Soon, the Azad Hind Fauj crossed the Chindwa in Manipur in March 1944 for their march to Delhi. The Fauj reached as far as the Himphal in Manipur, but they were forced to retreat because of disease and inadequate supplies. When Rangoon, known as Yangon in Burma, was captured by Allies in May, INA soldiers started surrendering. Their leader, Subhash Chandra Bose, flew to USSR for support to continue the fight, but he mysteriously died in a plane crash in Taiwan. The Azad Hind Fauj was virtually disbanded, but perhaps which the most important way in which the Indian National Army defined the Indian national freedom struggles was off the battlefield. Actually, in 1945, India's imagination was captured by a trial. Three Indian nationalist army troop men, Sahanwaz Khan, Farham Sehgal, and Gurbakht Dhillo, were on trial for organizing war against British Army. Before this, India was largely unaware of Fauj which was fighting for them. But now the Azad Hind Fauj has unprecedented popular support. As far as symbols go, the combination of a Hindu, a Muslim, and a Sikh was also a powerful one. A country fighting for its freedom had found three heroes. These three men were found guilty, but people's anger at the verdict meant that Khan, Sehgal, and Dhillo were soon let free. The Red Fort trial also caused strikes within the British Indian Army, Royal Indian Air Force, and the Royal Indian Navy. Momentum of India's freedom, which had been building up slowly, finally found its last push with the fourth trial. The Azad Hind Fauj may not have secured India's freedom militarily, but the spirit and patriotism of an army formed on a foreign soil fighting for India's freedom sparked something in the average Indian.
कदम बढ़ाए जा खुशी के गीत गाए जा ये जिंदगी है कौम की तो कौम पे लुटाए जा